Welcome to the Sports Show. Mike, Max, Patrick, Royce, Sid Hartman, and by popular demand, the one and only Bob Lurtsema. Bob, how are you?
By popular demand, who by it?
Who? It's that same guy guy that writes in that times the show about how much everybody talks. He sent me a note and he said, "Get
Lurtsy. We want Lurtsy.
It's that same guy. It's that same guy. Hey, we can start with just about anything tonight. Let's just start with the Gophers for the sake of argument.
I couldn't figure it out, to be honest with you. They left 11 starters at home. 11 starters who started the TCU game stayed at home, didn't make the trip. And I know last week he was upset with the coaching staff. He didn't think they did a good job preparing for Northwestern. He didn't think the players did a very good job. And he worked them long hours last week. Purdue stinks. Although Purdue did hold Michigan State, almost beat Michigan State. So I think they can beat Nebraska. I don't think Nebraska's very good.
Yeah, you keep waiting for Nebraska to have some breakout game. Patrick, what'd you think?
Nebraska's lost, what,
They're 2 and 4.
four by 11.
They've lost.
I think 4 by 11 and 3 by the last play. They got to be a little damaged by now. I don't know. Looking at the schedule, they better beat Nebraska.
Are you looking at that too? Holy cow! The way things are shaping up right now, you got Illinois, but
if you don't beat Nebraska, you got tough sledding for 4 games.
You won't be favored probably until Illinois.
You got Michigan here, and then you're at Ohio State and Iowa. So that's a rather vital game for them. But Nebraska, by now they're a little. Don't you think their psyche's a little damaged? You get beat on the last play of the game. Twice in a row, the coaching staff down there screwed up the clock and let the other team
kick a field goal.
Kick a field goal when Wisconsin kicked
Bob,
a field goal.
Coaching and clock management this year has been absolutely pathetic. High school, I mean not high school, well, it could be, but college and pros, everything. I don't know what these coaches are thinking. You can even go to the New York Giants.
Give me an example.
Tom Coughlin, New York Giants. You know, 2 weeks ago, all they have to do is run the clock out. They don't lose the game. What do? Eli Manning tells the players, don't score on the 1 yard line. So they don't score, trying to work the clock. Then on the third down play, he calls for a pass. Stops the clock, just enough time, they lose it by a field goal. That was 2 weeks ago.
What do you think of the Gophers' defense, Bob? This is the best one I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it truly is. And part of those 11 guys, a lot of them were hurt, Sid. But the thing I like about them, the way they're mixing up their line play and the linebackers, a couple times the linebackers will drop, let the corners come in, and so their blitzes are very well disguised. But I like that they're playing on the opponent's side of the ball.
I want to stay on this coaching theme, though, for a second.
Yeah.
Explain Jim Harbaugh, who came in, and people were talking about talent being down at Michigan, find that they don't have as talented players anymore. They've 3 straight shutouts for the first Big Ten team since 1980 to do that. Explain what he does or what a coach can do to change the culture, or what happens in a case like that.
A coach is 60 to 65% of the game as far as players go. I don't want people out there, oh, Bob, what are you talking about? Hey, they get between your ears. A good coach, you're saved. A bad coach who's going to stick to his philosophy and coach to your weakness, brutal.
And I've been through that. Many times in your career, right?
That's right. I can't do that.
Brady Hoke had some pretty good recruiting classes.
That's what he did.
He had some good players.
He came in there, and he took players away from Illinois. He took players away from Michigan State. He took players, about 20 players away from everybody.
But those are players.
Those are freshmen. Those are freshmen.
None of those players are playing.
No, he took Hoke's players, who were 4-star guys, and got them playing.
Play to the players, coach to the players' strengths.
I think when you're a player, you play to Harbaugh's strength, which is he's going to chew your rear end if you don't.
You say Grant. You and Grant don't agree. Grant says coaching is no part of it. If you don't have the players, you don't win.
I think Bud underestimates himself.
Yes, absolutely. He truly does.
Because he doesn't know what it's like to be.
Bud doesn't underestimate himself. That's the least of Bud's issues, believe me.
Hey, Mike, here's the easiest example for everybody out there. You know, you got Norv Turner.
Next, you're going to tell me Mike underestimates himself.
You got Manziel, Mr. Football last year. They weren't going to draft him. Why are you going to take a quarterback coordinator, an offensive coordinator who works with drop-back quarterbacks and bring in a Manziel who's a scrambler? You don't do it. And that was a smokescreen last year, you know, when they drafted Teddy, our boy.
So coaching is important.
Oh,
At football more than any other sport, do you think, Bob?
Hard to say. They have to do their homework in baseball, because you have to know a player's strength and weaknesses as far as whether he likes to curve, the drop, and all that. But in football, it's 60 to 65%.
Sid, you're smiling over here. What are you going to say?
Huh?
You don't believe him?
No. If you don't have, you talk to Gil tomorrow, and he will tell you when Bobby couldn't play, they said, we're in terrible shape. And that kid Moore came in, and he made the offensive line
This is the center position you're talking about for the Gophers.
Yeah, what it was. All of a sudden, they're running back at this kid all day. And Kill told me on the radio today he couldn't believe what was going on with this kid Moore. He looked like a senior.
First freshman he's ever played that position.
Freshman, yeah.
Now, there's the Gophers got their athletic facility, and I know all the coaches are happy about that, to get the facilities approved by the Board of Regents. But to me, this is one of the hollowest victories I've ever seen. They raised half the money in 3 years that they needed to. They're borrowing all the money, and they're proclaiming victory.
Well, they are borrowing the money, but they figure they can...
But the fundraising was a disaster then.
Absolutely. But they're going to float bonds. And
I know what they're going to do.
And the Big Ten is going to have another new TV deal, which is going to give them $5, $6, $7 million more dollars than they get right now.
But my point
why
is,
do you think Louis not here tonight? He's out raising money. He's so far behind the 8 ball. He's out raising money. Yeah, well, you know. You know what? We gave Sid a lot of abuse last year when he quoted Kill as saying they were going to spend $70 million on the football facilities. Everybody yelled at Sid, well, you're building 3 buildings for $160 million, and he's getting 2 of them. Sid was right. Sid was right. They're spending $70 million on football. Yep. This guy better win more. He better go to more than the Citrus Bowl.
I was season ticket holder, right? Season
He's
ticket
right, because he said you were right.
Yeah, on that fundraiser, season ticket holder, 8 tickets. They charge $150 for each ticket to go into to raise money for the scholarship fund.
Yeah.
8 of them. So that's $1,200. Now next year they're going to do the same thing. How many people are going to stay around for their season ticket holders?
Well, you get your tab for your Viking tickets, pal.
Press box.
Ain't no tab on that one,
Press
baby.
box.
Look at you, Sid. How many tickets you got for Gophers now? You down to 10, or what are you at?
Pardon me?
How many tickets you got for Gopher season tickets?
I have 4.
4?
Yeah.
All right. Check the seating chart on that one tomorrow. When we come back, we'll talk NFL. Stay with us.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
You're watching CW-23.
You're watching CW-23, your home for Family Feud.
On the next 2.5 Men.
I miss Chelsea.
I miss the 80s, but you don't see me snorting blow off a DeLorean.
Charlie's alone, so he hires some help.
Every once in a while, look at me and sigh while rolling your eyes. That's what Daddy likes.
Next 2.5 Men. 2 episodes, Monday starting at 9:30.
Factory Direct Spa sale going on now at Family Leisure. We've received truckloads of spas at discounted prices. Save 20, 30, even 50% or more. 4-person spas only $12.99. Swim spas as low as $99.99. Don't miss out. Factory Direct Spa sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Experience family fun and pro football like you've never seen it. The Hall of Fame Tour, October 17th and 18th. Celebrate pro football's greatest players with interactive exhibits, activities for the entire family, and exclusive pieces from the Hall of Fame. Meet Hall of Fame heroes from the Minnesota Vikings and test your skills to see how you compare to the all-time greats. Come see the legends who made the game great. The Pro Football Hall of Fame Tour, October 17th and 18th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets on sale now. ProFootballTour.com.
Must be my lucky day.
He is a metahuman named Sand Demon.
The whole naming the bad guys thing, that's my thing, so.
Let me teach you how to stop him.
How exactly do you know all this?
Where I came from, they called me the Flash.
The Flash. See it first, Tuesday at 7 on CW-23.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second to none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
J.D. Hoyt's in downtown Minneapolis. That's where Bob Lertzema goes. That's where Patty Royce goes. That's where Sid Hartman goes for takeout. That's where I go to sit and talk to Pat, the owner at J.D. Hoyt's, because it's a great meal and it's a great atmosphere. Welcome back to the Sports Show. Mike Max, Patrick Royce, Bob Lertzema, and Sid Hartman. Vikings are off this week. What changes do you think the coaching staff will make with their team?
I don't know about, I think until they get a veteran right tackle, I think they're going to have some problems. I think people are going to take advantage of
But they're not going to get a veteran right tackle at this juncture.
Well, they can make a trade. I mean, a couple of Cleveland's got that #1 guy from Wisconsin. They can't go any place. If you really want to do something,
They won today, though, by 3 and back in it.
Huh?
Cleveland.
Plus, you're going to give up a first rounder? They're not trading Joe. They're not trading Joe Thomas unless you give him a first rounder and
give him a 2.
Something else. You're not getting a 2 for Joe Thomas. They're not, they're not trading him. But plus, everybody in the league is looking for offensive linemen. The offensive, there's so many injuries on the offensive line everywhere. Today, that Lang got hurt. I don't know how bad he got hurt. They don't have Bulaga. They don't have Lang got hurt today. There's offensive lines are just all beat. Seattle's offensive line is all beat to hell. So.
Well, the game's won up front. They talk it over and over. They say, hey, defensive line, the offensive line, they control the game.
You got to see, that's true, though, when Patrick points out, I mean, why so many offensive linemen? It's not so many defensive linemen or linebackers. Why are offensive linemen so? Why do they get hurt so easy?
I think right now because of the passing situation, it's almost like arena football out there now. There's so much throwing going on. That's when you're most vulnerable for the knees. And when you aren't allowed to hit that much during the week, your body does not adjust to the pounding, and you're more susceptible to injury.
Now, there's an interesting theory. Hit less during the week, you endanger yourself more, you're saying.
Absolutely. Hey, Bud Grant, we used to open up every practice with 15 to 20 minutes of live blitz pickup. That's the way we started practice. And it's the same thing.
Sid says that never happened.
Never happened. He's never down there. I had to call him to tell him what was going on. No, not right now. I'm on a run.
I want to ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
If they didn't have Adrian Peterson, would he be as good a coach? Would Mike Zimmer be as good a coach?
Well, back to the players versus coaches' impact.
Coaching 60 to 65. If they were that good a coach, they would have played Adrian Peterson 10 plays the last 2 preseason games. What happened the first game against Frisco? He was hitting it too hard. He said, I didn't take my time. He was trying to get used to getting hit. When you go down there, your body has got to take that adjustment.
I want to go back to this blitz pickup. You said they worked on Sid. You said they did not. They didn't do that.
We started every practice that way.
He says they hit during practice, and you say they didn't hit during practice when Grant was there?
When who was here?
Bud Grant.
No.
We
Bob
hit
just
every day.
They hit very little.
Okay.
They hit very little. How does he know? He was here. He was here in such a
I was watching him hit. I said, I don't want to go in there. They're hitting too much.
You here?
You don't know this, but Bud told me we got to get rid of this guy. He can't play.
They're only able to get a Ahmad Rashad for him.
Got nothing for him.
Patrick, give me where the Vikings are at going into the last 12 weeks of the season.
They got a big break today. Jamal Charles blew out the ACL. He won't be playing for Kansas City.
They got beat by Chicago.
And he's about half their offense. They're what are they? 1-4, right? I think they're Kansas City are 1-4, 2-3. Yeah, they've had some bad losses, and now they don't have him.
I'll tell you what.
They use him more than the Vikings use Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
I tell you what. If I've got Tom Brady as a quarterback, or if I've got Rodgers as a quarterback, I'm a pretty good coach.
Well, back to that. It was 100% Belichick benching Bledsoe and going to Brady way back when.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Bob, is Teddy Bridgewater meeting your expectations? Are they going slow with him, and so because they don't want to rush him, or should we be concerned that he doesn't make more plays?
I was in Denver last week, and he made some great decisions. How he threw the ball away and everything. So Sean Hill even said that he's improved so much week after week with what Teddy's doing right now. So yes, he's improving. And the neatest thing about that, when I talked to Teddy after the game and everything, the whole team felt that, hey, there was so much confidence after they got beat Denver because they felt now, hey, we can compete with the best, on the road. So there's a tremendous amount of confidence, and it starts with Teddy Bridgewater.
You want to know who Teddy's going to be? Watch Kansas City Sunday. Alex Smith, same guy.
You mean where he's okay and
same guy,
going to do some
good.
things?
Same guy.
Kansas City can't win a game.
Same guy, accurate passer, short, throws the ball short. Accurate passer, same guy, good athlete. Alex Smith's a pretty good athlete.
Brad Childress is at Kansas City.
He and the head coach have been buddies for years, and he's kind of a top assistant to head coach.
Well, that's a good job to have, associate head coach.
Well, they're all going to get fired if they don't watch it.
That's right. Now, was there a chance, Bob, that Sid did not have access to some of the practices that he thought he saw it all and he didn't? Is there a chance?
Absolutely. Yes.
They might have been doing some hitting and you didn't know it.
One thing about the practices, if you called Norbyburg and the ducks were flying on the Minnesota River, they didn't do nothing.
Practice was cut
All
short.
of a sudden, Saturday we had to go in early every Saturday so we could go duck hunting.
They were all in there fighting to see who
Twisting
could...
everything.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Escape MSP, the fastest 60 minutes of your life.
Ever wonder, why do I hear but not understand? Scientists at Cambridge University discovered the answer. Inside your cochlea, there are thousands of tiny hearing hair cells. Poor hearing occurs when regions of these hair cells die. Amplifying a dead region with hearing aids makes you hear worse, not better. The result of this study is a hearing clarity breakthrough. Using standard test equipment, dead regions of your cochlea are identified. Then, a new type of frequency-shaping hearing aid is programmed to bypass the dead regions. Only your usable hearing hair cells receive amplification. Brilliant. A local study is underway. 100 citizens with hearing problems are needed to receive this testing and then wear the tiny device for 10 days, recording your results. Call now to see if you qualify. Volunteers may keep the product at a special discount if they desire. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
I'm John Hines. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World is the place you should come for car washes, oil changes, tires. As a matter of fact, anything and everything under the hood of your car. You're in great hands at Bobby and Steve's Auto World, where serving people is the most important part of their business.
Go into Bobby and Steve's Auto World for great savings on all Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Plus, get $60 on your World Rewards card. Schedule your appointment at BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com or just stop in.
Welcome back to the Sports Show. Mike Max, Patrick Royce, Bob Lurtzema, and Sid Hartman. One more question, Vikings related, before we move on in this thing. Cordero Patterson, we were just talking about during the break. Does he have a future here at all as long as Mike Zimmer's the coach? And do you like Mike Zimmer, the coach?
I love Mike Zimmer as a coach. A lot of butt in him. You know, he'll tell you what he's thinking, and if the players make their mental mistakes and don't put out.
That's what I see with Bud, is the mental mistakes part of it, right?
He wouldn't sell for that at all. You're down the road.
What about, is that what happened to Hodges, you think?
Yes.
Trading him?
Yes, unfortunately, because he made a couple, I thought, decent plays. I talked to him in the locker room in Denver last week, but the overall picture was there. As far as Patterson goes,
mental mistakes again.
Yes. He's thinking too much. His rookie year, you always have that sophomore jinx, Pat. The rookie year going strictly on instinct. Yeah. Now all of a sudden you get disciplined with a 9-yard route.
What are you laughing at?
9 yards.
Let me tell you, I'll say one thing about Zimmer. Of all the coaches I've seen in the past, when it comes to discipline, he's about as tough as any. If you make a mistake, you watch and see. If a guy's in motion, he's out of the game. If he drops the ball, he's out of the game. He don't pull any punches with these guys, and he is tough.
We're talking about the rest of the NFL there because they did play this week, Patrick, and you look. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but the Vikings division looks like Green Bay and everybody else. If you're the Vikings, you got a half-decent chance.
Aaron Rodgers turned it over 3 times today, 2 interceptions and a fumble, but the Packers still won.
Yeah.
So Packers they're good. And how about Seattle blowing a 24-7 lead in Cincinnati and getting?
What'd you think of the call last week, Detroit and Seattle? What should they do about something like that?
I can't feel sorry for Detroit. Don't fumble on the goal line. That's it. That's simple. You know. I mean, maybe they got the rule wrong, but who cares? You know, it's Detroit. They're going to figure out a way to lose anyway.
Isn't it funny though? Because was it 2 years ago that Green Bay went into Seattle on the Monday night game, and it was that catch, right? Yep. That was wrong.
Right.
Got the regular referees back.
Yep.
That's right. That's the one that got the regular referees back and back to work.
What does Rodgers do when he throws it up for grabs? He knows that they're offsides. What call does he make? He's the only quarterback
I see. Automatic, you mean?
Automatic. He doesn't care if it's intercepted or not because it's going to come back.
But you got to think fast on the line to make sure your receiver knows.
Absolutely. That's why I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the National Football League.
Listen to him, Sid.
This is the first time I've ever heard a guy, in all the years I've been talking sports with people, that the coach is everything.
You're back to that again.
You're like
players
Jesse
don't mean
Ventura.
anything.
You get a thought in your head, you can't get it out. God,
we moved on from that about 10 minutes ago.
I heard Jesse the other day on some radio show, and he was talking about JFK getting shot by Congress or something.
You mean Vice President?
Same
potential
thing.
Vice President?
Be careful, Ertz, about to buy into that.
Grant did his little coaching, whichever coach. Bob Holloway and Neil Armstrong, the defensive coordinators, and Jerry Burns. The only thing Grant really did is keep discipline on the team, and he let those guys run the show. They ran the show.
Bud would have heard this. He wouldn't have let you make his Hall of Fame speech.
Too late now. Yeah. Take a break, come back. You're watching The Sports Show.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins! Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts, too. For ticketking.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere.
myself.
That's for sure.
You're watching CW-23.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. In business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender. Beacon Bank, responsive, reliable, reassuring. Please edit out what Sid just said if it showed up on the air. Bob Weiss and the gang just got a thing from him. He's fishing in Alaska, living the good life as well. He should. They changed it over to Alaris Bank's community bank as well. Minnesota Wild. Patrick, last year, a tough start. You couldn't have started any better in terms of grabbing the attention of the public than what they did in Colorado.
I wasn't watching too closely on Thursday night, but I got a bunch of emails suggesting we should trade Dubnyk after 2 periods. So they didn't panic real fast.
No.
But, that was against a bad team. And then last night they kind of held on. But, boys, what you do here is you just play 82 games in 104 days to decide seeding that really doesn't matter
no.
in hockey because somebody's going to win 2-1 or 3-2. So.
What do you think of Zach Parise coming out the first time?
He's terrific.
Huh?
He was terrific. He looks fresh. This new Adam Oates power play they have looks pretty good. The one Adam Oates came in and taught him.
Are you a hockey expert?
His son played. Son
he
was
got
a
drafted.
killer.
Before we get to sit on Sid, Dean Chance passed away.
Yes.
Patrick, explain who Dean Chance, the former Twin, was.
Dean Chance was here from 67 to 69. Sid knew him better than me, but one of the great characters of all time. And 67 and 68, he also won the Cy Young with the Angels in 64 at age 23 when he only gave one Young award for both games. He beat Fax, yeah.
He was a character. We had a party I attended to. He takes his wife home, girlfriend back to the party.
No. That could be the reason he wasn't married at the end, but
Ian, what's the guy's name?
Bo Bolinsky?
Bolinsky were running mates. And today, Mamie Van Doren, who was the starlet of starlets when they were out in the 60s, went on Facebook and lamented Dean's loss and said he was one of her closest friends, that her and Bo and Dean were in back.
Tina Louise is who Bo Bolinsky dated, Ginger from...
he dated all of them.
Didn't he have
The legend was that Bolinsky was the Knight Rider and got Chance in trouble because he was 5 years older than Chance.
Yeah.
Bob Rogers told me that Dean got Bo in trouble, that Dean ran a operation, boxing, and I tried to get a hold of him once when he was playing gin rummy with old white guys in Miami Beach for big.
So he was above
9 to 5 guy, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
This is better than a National Enquirer.
Go down to that one on coaching if you want one more time.
Dean Chance
sit on
was
sit.
an all-time character. Nobody has ever like Dean Chance, drinking, everything that an athlete shouldn't do.
But he
was a winner.
Pitched 283 innings for the Twins in 67. He was fantastic.
See you back here next week, everybody.
The Sports Show brought to you in part by makers of quality quartz. King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. Escape MSP, the fastest 60 minutes of your life. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.